Hey guys, we're back discussing Rocklight and whip controllers and how to hook them up. So if you order whips and Rocklights from us at the same time anyways, this is what the controller will look like. So you're going to have power and ground, and then you have your black, white, and red coming off the controller, as well as this thing, which is our boost board for our Rocklights. And it'll have this end on it that will go straight into the splitter. So the most important thing to remember is anytime you're unplugging, replugging, moving stuff around, always make sure you have cut power to the controller. You do not want to risk accidentally, if these wires are raw and accidentally touching the power to the data, you will short something. So just always be cognizant of your raw wires and your connections. So again, you're going to have this in, and you'll notice that here in front of me I have 4 Rocklights, which goes into this one 4-way splitter. So again, these are just plug and play into the end of the Rocklight. So just make sure you line up your arrows here, because again, if you accidentally try and if you don't line up the arrows, you could be mixing power to data, which again could potentially blow something. That is why it's always safest just to make sure your power is disconnected anytime you're unplugging or plugging something in. So again, line up your arrows, go ahead and push close, and then again, your nut to kind of keep it having that waterproof connection. Make sure you tighten that all the way. And then again, this connection is going to go straight into your boost connection. Again, line up your arrows and then secure your waterproof connection. So then again, off your controller, you're going to have these 3 raw wires, which again, you're going to go back to your whip wires. You're going to have your 2 whip wires, depending on if you order a pair or a single, and you're going to do your reds to reds, yellows to yellows, blacks to black. Make sure you have a good waterproof, secure connection. When you're connecting these things, butt connectors, make sure you use a good crimper, any sort of good connection that makes it. We recommend electrical tape, heat shrink, dielectric grease, anything like that, to make sure you have a very secure connection. So anyways, and then again, if you have, then you'll run your power and your ground to a switch or to your battery, whichever one. Just make sure, again, don't be mixing your power and ground, your raw wires. Just be very cognizant of your raw wires. Because we'll always recommend putting it on the table and running it to the battery or to a power supply first before actually running anything, just to make sure everything's okay. But that is always a good first step before you start running wire. And then if something was to happen, you have to disconnect it and take it all apart. So always put on your table first, run it to your battery that you're going to connect it to, and make sure everything's good. So again, if any other, always check your fuses. If anything's not working, that's always your first try, is make sure you have a good fuse. So that's a whip and Rocklight connection.